Millions of years ago, volcanic eruptions occurred at far below sea level. Lava of a basaltic composition flowed out on the ocean floor, where it was rapidly cooled by the surrounding cold seawater. The outer surface solidified and formed a crust. The lavas on the inside solidified slowly and kept billowing out, forming round-shaped pillow lavas. The oldest geological structure, the Curaçao Lava Formation, was formed. The younger Knipstone Formation consists of distinct layers of marine sedimentary rocks that were formed on top of the pillow lavas on the deep ocean floor. Millions of years later, enormous forces pushed up all these layers out of the ocean. Some were folded and some ended up in an almost vertical position. They appear as slanted upward peaks that form the hills of the Knip Formation. The highest peak belongs to the Christoffel Mountain and is 375 meters high, situated in the largest national nature reserve park of Curaçao, the Christoffelpark. The park houses the old buildings of the former Savonnet plantation, one of the oldest and largest plantations of Curaçao, established under supervision of the Dutch West India Company when Curaçao was the center of the Dutch slave trade. The museum offers modern audiovisual concepts with stories about the interdependence between man and nature, cultural and natural history, and photographs of descendants of former slaves. Curaçao has a dry climate with continuously strong easterly trade winds. Most plants flower during the first dry spell after a rainy period. The quibrahacha, a local species of the yellow pui, blooms abundantly in that period of time. When the real rainy season starts, the hills are colored emerald green. In the Christoffelpark at Pos Chimarrón, tremendous waterfalls emerge, plunging down over black, cherty Knip mudstones. When the rain goes on for a longer period of time, the running waters transform dry Curaçao into forest-like scenes and wetlands with water lilies. In the dry period, it's a sporty challenge to explore Curaçao's wild nature in its original form while climbing to the top of the Christoffel. The middle area of Christoffel's hillside is covered with bromelias, much less commonly seen outside the park. The landscape changes the higher you get. Rocks are getting bigger, trees are higher, and moisture increases. These bunches growing on a quibrahacha tree are lilah orchids. The flowers grow on stalks of 1 to 3 meters in length. The tree houses other epiphytes and the macura, a creeper with red poisonous seeds and edible leaves. Weird mosses hanging from trees are lichens. They only grow where the air is still pure. Hiking through the hills of the Knip Formation on the Southwest Trail leads to Windy Hill. The rocks are named after the neighboring Knip plantation, where they were described for the first time. This area is the habitat of the white-tailed hawk. It prefers open regions up to 600 meters with few trees to hinder its flight. The slope of the open ridge of Windy Hill quickly falls from about 200 to 20 meters in the valley below. you need to watch your step carefully to defy the powerful wind. At the end of the ridge is an area where the sabal palms grow. This species of sabal palm is an indigenous species for Curaçao and only grows on the hills of the Knip Formation. Close to the top of the Christoffel, Clusia rosea trees are growing. These trees germinate as an epiphyte in the fork of a branch of other trees or in a crevice. Some ferns and small white orchids grow between the rocks. Thick roots, like trunks, of welcome hand grips as the trail becomes steeper. Climbing between a narrow crack with the hardest rocks of Curaçao with almost no grip is an exciting experience. At the top, the people are aiming for the highest spot for the best view. A small kestrel, the Kini Kini, is riding the updraft in front of the ridge of the mountain. The sky is the limit, and the view is great. Driving from the hills to the scenic valleys of the Christoffel on a late afternoon is a relaxed and different activity. A female iguana carrying eggs hangs in a quibrahacha tree. The flowers of the white orchid, the Brassavola nudosa, spread a sweet, pleasant smell as soon as the evening falls. Curaçao is the only Caribbean island where the white-tailed deer lives, mainly in the Christoffel area. Outside of the Christoffelpark, salt pans and mangrove areas are particularly important feeding habitats for the Caribbean flamingo in Curaçao, who are part of the same population as the flamingos of Venezuela and Bonaire. In this whole area, they roam from one lagoon to another, wherever they find food. They sweep their beak upside down through shallow water, picking up food like brine shrimp, algae, and small snails. A young flamingo does not get its full color until it's more than 3 years of age. In the rainy season, the Caribbean flamingo in Curaçao also feed in freshwater dams with different vegetation. Here, they find small crustaceans and other organisms that they share with various species of ducks. The variety of habitats on an arid island like Curaçao, with a size of 444 square kilometers, make it the island with the highest biodiversity of the southern Caribbean islands. To preserve the diversity of Curaçao, both within but also outside the protected areas, it's desirable and necessary to manage these worthwhile habitats with care and respect so they may continue to thrive.